Hi everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Reboot. I'm Coach Matt here at Nutrition Plus CrossFit 696, and together today we're going to be exploring some fundamental movements. We're going to have a lot of fun, go through some different options, and just get your body and blood flowing today. I'm here with JP. She's going to be showing our intermediate options for some of the movements that I'm going to deliver. And this is our superstar, Peter. He's going to be showing the beginner level, some basic options of the more advanced levels that I'm going to deliver. So together we're all going to start off working our way from the floor up through our head, neck, and shoulders. You guys ready to begin? Sure. All right. So I want to start by exploring our feet. We're going to start just by bending the ankles, lifting the toes up and then down. So up and then down. So you're welcome to stay here with JP, just working from the floor, lifting up and down. If you want to join Peter, Peter's going to come from behind his chair. So Peter, if you would, behind the chair, holding the chair, you're going to lift up onto your toes and then lower back down. Careful not to tip your chair over. Safety is always first. So we're going to just be working through some repetitions here. JP's doing a great job exploring as much range of motion as she can, lifting those toes as high as she can. As an advanced option, I can challenge my balance in space just by going right here. But again, safety first, so if I need something to hold on to, I'll keep it close. After you've done a couple of repetitions there, we're gonna go into an alternating fashion. So I wanna go from one foot to the other foot. I'm gonna encourage JP to do this in an alternating fashion. While one toe lifts, the other heel lifts, and then we're gonna do the opposite of that. So JP, yeah, can you coordinate this movement? So as JP's coordinating this movement, she's getting some brain functionality to her toes and some blood flow all the way through. And Peter, as you come up, I want to see if you can lift one while one's down and then lift the other in this staggered stance. So Peter's going to take this staggered stance. And you can do them all on one side, Peter. We'll do a couple on this side and just stay there and just keep on going up and then down and then up and then down. There's coordination involved here, there's some balance involved here, and as the more advanced option for this, Peter, you can switch and do your other side. I can show it right from here. I'm just gonna try to alternate one up and one down, and then I'll switch and I'll do a couple on the other side. And just alternating the footwork to get my ankles flowing. After you've explored that movement, Peter, I'm gonna invite you back to your chair to take a little breather there, and we're gonna recollect ourselves. We're gonna work into the hips. So making our way up from the ankle to the hip. I wanna do some marches, and we're gonna do this with an opposite arm and opposite leg raise. So we're just marching the knees up and the ankles off the floor. So I'm gonna coach JP as she lifts this side, lift that side, this arm up, and then she's gonna switch. Okay. Yes, coordinating opposites. And same thing, you see Peter here, he's doing same arm, same leg. Hold this one up, switch sides, and now switch. He's got it. Now, Peter, can you stand up? I'm gonna have you show them the standing option of this. And that's just gonna be holding here, and whichever knee comes up, the opposite arm is gonna lift. Nice and tall, our posture always matters. So when we're doing activities, we wanna be mindful of how our shoulders are being held. Fantastic work, you guys, and I'm gonna show the more advanced option, which is exploring my hips in this balance-like pattern. And so we can just do a couple of reps here, just seeing how the floor feels underneath our feet and how our coordination is. Remember, it's opposite hand, opposite foot. How's my team doing?
Doing good.
Good, man.
What's the biggest thing we need to remember to do when we enter activity in? We want to remember to breathe at all times. Did you guys find yourself holding your breath?
Sometimes.
No, because you're too well trained, right? Keep breathing through. And then our next activity, let's relax that for a moment. Peter, I'm gonna invite you back to your chair. Ankles, hips, let's go up into the shoulders. So what I want my team to do is clasp their fingertips together, stretch the fingertips forward, and round out the back. And reach as far as you can. blow big out some air. And then I want you to take the palms, open them up, reach behind and bring your chest toward me. So chest to the front of the room. And then we're gonna do that together. Fingertips together, pressing forward and breathing out. And then palms are up and open. We're just making our way through these shoulder movements. I'm gonna invite Peter to try this from a standing position. Peter's gonna use the back of his chair as a deeper stretch. So Peter, I want you to hold your chair here. You're gonna press yourself back, then you're gonna stand and you're gonna open. Without tipping the chair over, without falling down. You promise me? Remember, safety first.
We'll see if I promise.
Hips go back, head comes through the arms, then he's gonna stand tall, find his feet, open big, and just let the air out. And then he's gonna go back forward again. And then he's gonna come back up. And I can go one step further by pressing down toward the toes and then opening up and pressing down toward the toes and then opening up and always breathing through this and then opening up. And after a couple of repetitions there, you got some blood flowing through the body. Let's start to work into some neck movements. So we're gonna go up even higher. And we're gonna look as far as we can to one side. So team, we're gonna look to the left first, and I want you to look to the corner of the eyelid. So you're looking as far as you can. And then I wanna turn and I wanna look the other way. And just take inventory. Does one side see a little further than the other as you go from the left, looking back to the left, breathing out, and then looking to the right. And keep on going there, you guys. Do a couple of more reps. In our day-to-day lives, there's so many things that are just directly in front of us, from our cell phones to TVs, and we miss out on a lot of these opportunities. Heck, even our cars have cameras. We don't even have to look anymore behind us when we're backing up. So don't forget the value of these neck movements. How does that feel, JP?
Nice and stretching.
Yeah. The next pattern, side to side, is up and down. So we're gonna tuck the chin. And again, you can stay sitting nice and tall, but if you need to sit back in your chair, take a little breather, sit back in the chair. You choose. Chin tucks to the chest, think chin to chest, and then chin to ceiling. Trying not to move from your body, but just from the neck. We wanna sort of disassociate the neck from the rest of the body and move only that portion. So up and down, keep on seeing how far down to your chest can you see. Whether you're sitting back against the backrest or whether you're sitting forward in your chair, the choice is yours. Just carry your breathing with you through this, chin to chest, and then looking up. If you find yourself getting dizzy or lightheaded when you're doing this, you can shorten the range of motion, or you can just sit this one out and work on some breathing. Hold it there, guys. The last portion is lateral movement, thinking ear to shoulder. So we're gonna take our left ear and drop it down to our shoulder. And then we're gonna lift back to a neutral position, and then right ear down to the right shoulder. What we see oftentimes when our athletes and participants do this is the shoulder rises up to the ear. I want you to relax the shoulders down, let the tension out. And as you go to the other side, just feel the stretch come down and through that opposing side. Check your breathing while you're working. Let's do one more on each side. Great work, team. So finding a nice neutral position. We're gonna work on getting some strength to the body. So we got some blood flow, we got some light movement. We wanna help promote strength for a reason of bone density, retaining muscle mass, and really overall helping our metabolism and keeping our independence. You guys ready to get strong together?
Absolutely.
I love it. So we're gonna start. JP's gonna start by sitting back in her chair. And JP, as you sit back in your chair, I want you to lift and you're gonna hold for 3 seconds. So this is that similar hold that we did. And then you're gonna do that again on the other side, holding for 3 seconds. Peter, you're gonna scoot forward on your chair and we're gonna work on standing up out of the chair. So Peter's gonna take this athletic position, and only if he needs to is he gonna push off with his hands on his thighs or the seat, but he's gonna try to propel himself from the seat and then carefully back down into it. And then back up and carefully back down into it. I'm gonna show the advanced option of that, which is an unsupported squat. And I'm just exploring how far down I can go and then returning back up. Maintain your breathing while you're doing this. Maintain control while you're doing this. We don't want to plop into the seat. We want to control that. And you do want to make sure that that chair is in a supported place, maybe with a wall behind it, so it doesn't slide out on you. And make sure that you're there. And then JP, instead of sitting back, if she can sit forward in her chair to make this just another level harder, and she's going to sit nice and tall. And when that knee lifts up, don't lean back. And she got the correct arm movement. Awesome job, JP. Now, I could add load to this exercise, and we're gonna do a couple more reps, guys, by using a water bottle, if I have that handy, and Peter could be holding his water bottle if he had that handy. Anytime we can add a little bit of demand to the body, it's always a good thing to help promote some strength. So, progress yourself forward when your body gives you the green light, and you can always motor back to any option you choose, should you get tired. Let's take a little breather here, guys. We'll take a little rest in between sets. This is all about your pace and what feels good to you. So don't feel like you have to stay on task with us. If we're doing a few extra reps and you feel like you need the rest, by all means, I want you to take it. So, JP, I'm gonna have you turn to one side. This is our lunging pattern. What we're gonna work on, JP, is pressing up and then coming back down. And I'm gonna keep my hand on the seat, pressing up and then coming back down. So learning to get up from a kneeling position. Peter's gonna stand behind his chair. Peter, you're gonna hold here, you're gonna stand here, and you're gonna lower down and come up. And we're gonna do all of these on one side. I'm gonna be showing the unsupported option, placing my hands on my hips in a nice tall posture. We wanna make sure our feet are wide of the train tracks, so don't walk the tightrope. Spread them out. JP's using the chair to get up and get down. Peter's holding the chair, and I'm just gonna go all the way down, careful to the floor, and stand back up. Having a couch cushion to kneel to and then come up to, or a couch nearby for balance can be tremendously helpful. Well, let's go one more on that side. That's probably starting to cook back there, huh, guys?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, all right, so switch that out, shake that out. JP's just gonna turn. She's gonna face the other way, just bringing her leg back, holding the edge of the chair. Peter's just gonna take a little break, switching his feet to the other side, and then he's gonna do that lunge on the other side. And again, wide stance. We like the back heel to stay lifted when possible, and we're just gonna go from kneeling to standing. What's the most important to remember to do? The most important thing to remember to do while exercising?
Safe.
Safety and breathing. They nailed it. Not their first day with me. Nice job, you guys. Great, great, great. So let's do 2 more repetitions.
This is going after this morning.
It is. Matt's putting us through the paces.
Great work. Back to sitting. If you guys want to grab some water, please feel free to grab some water. Hydration is super important. One of the things we didn't talk about is whether or not my athletes were properly fueled for this morning's workout with a balanced breakfast. It's important to remember what we put into our bodies makes a difference in how they perform for us. So, you guys ready to keep on performing?
Absolutely.
All right, JP, we're gonna work into the arms a little bit here. So JP's gonna scoot herself to the edge of her seat and place her hands on the edge. What I'm gonna ask her to do is just lift off of the seat gently and then come back down. She can do that without actually moving off of the seat, but then she can also lift her buns all the way up. So JP, show me one, lifting and then lowering. Excellent. Peter's gonna stand and he's gonna do my chair push-up. And again, I could put this chair against something firm. I'm gonna lower into the chair and then press away. A countertop at home by the sink makes a really good option for this, but I'm just lowering in and then pressing away. Full extension of the triceps. So we're working the back of the arms here, we're working the chest. He's got it all together and his body is staying in good alignment. Yep, as JP goes through this option for the triceps and chest, she's gonna push her shoulders down, really exposing the neck, and then she's gonna come back to the seat and recover. Peter, how about 2 more? And JP, how about 1 more? Excellent work. So that's for the upper body, triceps and chest. Now I wanna go into the upper body, back muscles, those important posture muscles that hold us upright against gravity. So to do this, we're gonna bring gravity on our side by leaning over the edge. I'm gonna let my arms hang down by my side, and we're just gonna squeeze the arms out like we're a bird flying away, and then back down, and then back up, and then back down. And I want you guys to keep on going, letting those shoulder blades come together. JP's doing a great job. I can see the wrinkles in her shirt back here. We want to be mindful not to let the shoulders ride up by the ears. Peter's doing a great job here by keeping the shoulders down and back and closing the shoulder blades together. Nice maintenance of the spine, just holding in that position. And I can hear them breathing through this, so make sure that you are as well. Now, the next progression for this would be to try this activity standing up. So if I wanted to do this standing, challenging my balance from front to back, I just come right here. We're going to do 3 more together. Exhale, and then inhale. And exhale, and then inhale. And shake it out. Now we're going to practice reaching into the cupboards, because it's important we keep strength to reach into the top of the fridge and reach up into the covers for the plates and those glasses that are up real high. So JP, I'm going to have you show this one sitting in your chair. And again, you can sit back for this, or you can sit on the edge. Peter, I'm going to have you show this one standing up behind your chair, so it's there if you need it. And all we're going to do is an overhead reach. So the overhead reach is going to come from the shoulders to overhead. From the shoulders to overhead. So I'm going to let these guys take that away. JP's doing a perfect job here, sitting up nice and tall. I say thumbs to the shoulders and then palms overhead. Peter's doing a great job in this tall position. If Peter had some light weights at home or 2 water bottles, he could be holding 2 water bottles to add some resistance to this. That would be totally fine. And we always like to incorporate some challenge of balance training. So I can do a kickstand overhead reach. That's with 1 foot down. And then I can progress that by coming to 1 foot to the knee and progress that by coming 1 foot in space. How are those shoulders doing? They starting to get a little tired? Let's do a couple more. If you were with me going here, do the other side for a few repetitions. 1 foot is down. You can bring it to the knee, and then you can bring it all the way up and challenge it. But again, safety first. Make sure you're in a safe space to practice your balance. 1 more, you guys. Excellent job. Peter, I'm going to invite you back to your seat for a second. We're just going to do a little stretch here. So after some strength training, we'll do a little stretch to release our posture. This is called the cat pose, where I'm just going to round my shoulders out. So JP, you're going to show this one, in a seated posture. Peter, I'm going to have you stand in front of your chair, and I just want you to round out here. And then I want to arch. Can you guys arch the back? Yeah, and then round it back out. And then I could take it a step further with a little bit of floor work. And this is a yoga pose from cat into cow, just getting the spine moving. And check in on your breathing while you're working through these spine flows. And 1 more time. All right, Peter, you can have a seat for a moment. We're going to add a little bit of balance work. We did some strength training. Now I'd like to do a little bit of balance training. So JP, I'm going to invite you to put 1 foot in front of the other. And all I want you to do is just lean over those legs and then lean back. And then lean over those legs and then lean back. And Peter's going to do this behind his chair. Peter, if you would, behind your chair, 1 foot in front of the other. And you pick the side.
Oh, nice.
1 foot in front of the other. And he's only going to hold the chair as much as he needs to. So Peter, if you can let that chair go, you let that chair go. And all I want you to do is just leaning forward and leaning back. And this is called tandem stance, 1 foot in front of the other. I can take this a step further and make this a tandem walk. Walking forward and then walking back to really fight for my lateral balance in this pattern. If I take my feet a little bit wider here, it makes it a little bit easier. And if I hold them here, it makes it a little bit harder as I walk forward and then backward. Let's switch sides and see how the other side does. What you might notice in this is switching sides. One side can be really confident in the movement, but then the other side, you might find yourself wobbling all over. And all that means is spend a little more time practicing on the side that needs the assistance. I'm going to go back and check on my team Very good, JP. Feet are in line. Peter, how you doing there? Peter's getting a little bit tall as he comes back up. I want him to come up nice and tall each time. So rocking forward and then backward and nice and tall. Peter, excellent work. Let's go one more. Then it's important to manage our lateral movement. Peter, you can have a seat for a sec. It's important to manage our lateral movement. So JP, uniquely, you're gonna walk around the edge of your chair to the best of your ability and as far as you can. Moving those feet in a lateral pattern, you can assist using your hands as needed, but you're gonna walk your feet. Peter's gonna do the same thing around his chair. He's gonna do a lateral walk. He can go around the chair, Peter, or you can also just go across your chair from one side to the other too, especially if you find that that half moon makes you a little bit dizzy, you can go here. In either one of those patterns, we want to check our posture. I want JP sitting nice and tall and breathing, working the ankles left to right. Try to get those feet flat on the floor if you can, and you may have to scoot forward on the chair. Yeah, if you can get more of your foot on the floor, that's going to be a great pattern for you to be practicing. And I'm going to encourage Peter to keep his feet somewhat wide as he does this walk. Almost like you got a dirty diaper, Peter.
Oh, there we go. I can manage that.
Why didn't you say that when we started?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I'm going to do this as a really wide step back and forth. So just managing my acceleration in one pattern and then bringing it back in the other way. And you can really start to sink into this as you feel more confident, but just a great way to open the hips and coordinate the feet. Let's do one more time each way. Nice, JP. JP, are you getting dizzy at all doing that?
No.
Awesome. Great. Peter, how are you feeling back here?
Feel really good back here.
You're in charge of this chair, aren't you?
I am in
And it's
charge
there
of
if
the
you
chair.
needed it, but you didn't even need it. Fantastic. Good. Let's come back to the middle. Let's grab a quick drink of water. If you don't love water, I get that a lot. What if I don't love water? One thing you might try is just adding fresh fruit. Squeeze it yourself into the water for a nice blend of flavor and hydration. So, we're gonna do this all one more time. You guys ready?
Ready?
Yeah, we're gonna get strong, okay? We're gonna start with that squat rendition. JP, do you remember what you did for the squat?
No.
So she's gonna do the pause and she's gonna hold, whether she's sitting back or whether she's sitting up. And it's a big squeeze for the hip flexor, bending the knee as far as you can. Opposite arm. Peter, do you remember what you did for the squat?
I am going to get out of this chair and get back down.
That's exactly what you're gonna do, like your life depends on it.
Yes.
So I'm gonna show the higher level. When you're ready, Peter, you can start to execute. The higher level is just sitting down and then standing back up. What I'm looking for with Peter is that his feet are staying flat on the floor as he's going through this. He's got a good grip with his toes grabbing the floor and he's in control, lowering down. Making sure that Peter doesn't push off of his thighs unless he absolutely needs to. It's a pattern we kind of create of pushing off on our way up, but we can break that cycle. Great work, JP. And then JP, if you could come around your chair, I want you to show them the holding on squat. So you're gonna stand up. Here's another rendition that you might try. Just holding and sitting. So if you were like, okay, I got that, but this is really difficult, hold something like a sink or a countertop, or maybe it's a lolly column if you're in your basement, and she's reaching her hips down and back. And how many repetitions make sense? We like to say between 10 and 15 repetitions to help build up some muscle endurance. That helps with our longevity and strength over time. One more, my friends, and I'm gonna show one more here from the front, just balancing my squat and coming back up. The next pattern that we practiced was that lunging pattern. So getting into this lunging pattern, one leg forward, one leg back. Peter, yep, you were behind your chair. Yeah. And posture matters, so we're in this upright position, and JP can push off and then rise up. Peter can hold on as he drops down. And then I was showing this from this posture, but I can progress this another step further by either stepping backward into my lunge, managing my posture, careful not to want to jump my shoulders up, or I can make it even more difficult by stepping forward and then coming back. And again, balance and safety. I don't want to be crashing my knee into any hard surfaces. That's just not fun. Let me check on my team. Can we switch sides? Let's see what your other side looks like, JP. So you turn, face the other way. Peter's got his legs in the opposite pattern, and let's keep this going. Again, check in on your breathing. I find myself reminding my classes and my one-on-one training sessions, remember to breathe. Especially when we're learning new things, it's a natural tendency for us to hold our breath through the learning process and then add the intensity of the activity, and it only gets more tricky. 2 more repetitions. Breathing through them. JP, great work. Excellent. All right, then we're gonna go to the upper back for our row. This we did from a hinged, leaned over position with our arms down by our side. So I gave this seated option for JP and for Peter. I did the standing option, but I'm gonna have Peter demonstrate that. Peter, if you would, standing and leaning. And then I'm gonna show that tandem stance, which is even more difficult if I take my feet here and challenge that arm drive and shoulder squeeze out to the side. I would do a couple on that side, 6 to 8, and then I could go 6 to 8 on this side. Keep on breathing, keep on working. I want to check on my team here. Great work, JP. I can hear that breath out. And we're going to do one more. Nice, Peter. Then we're going to do the front of the body, and we did this a little out of order, but it's not about the sequence. It's about the exercise. We're going to do our pushes. So, JP, I had you doing those chair lifts, working the triceps and the lats. And Peter, remember what you were doing?
That I don't.
This is why you have a coach. Peter was doing his chair push-ups. He's leaning in and pressing back. Now, Peter could progress this, again, against the wall if he had a wall space for doing push-ups. But if he's comfortable getting up and down off the floor, Peter can come right down to the ground. He can lower down to the floor. We allow our students to use their knees to press back up, so don't feel like, oh, it's not good form. It's just a matter of practicing getting down and getting up. And then when you can tighten that up, you tighten that right up. One more press. Well done. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I want to finish with our stretch, which is going to be that forward and backward round of the back, and that was here. And then it was to here. And Peter, you were doing that in the standing position, rounding, and then arch. And I was showing this from the floor. And check your breathing. One more time, my friends. Great work. Clap it up for yourselves. You just did something really amazing for yourself today, empowering your body to live and be its best self. I invite you guys to grab a sip of water. I want to thank you so much for joining in this experience with myself and my team today. It's an honor to be able to serve you and our community right from your very own home.
This ball.
If there's anything you guys would like to see added to the next episode, please be sure to email us as well and let us know. We'd love to get some topics that interest you guys and some exercises and things that will help you live your best life.